Hi, welcome to the Commonwealth Report. I'm Lieutenant Governor Tim Murray. As always, we welcome your ideas, suggestions, or feedback on the show. And periodically, as we move along through our segments, we will post an email address with, again, any ideas or suggestions that you might have. I'm pleased today to have two guests with me, Bob Culver, who's the President and CEO of Mass Development, and Jim Hunt, who is the Chief of Environmental and Energy Services for the City of Boston and Mayor Menino. Gentlemen, welcome. Welcome to the show. And we're going to talk today about brownfields, reclamation in Massachusetts. And 1998, in August of 1998 in Dorchester, then Governor Cellucci signed the Brownfields Act, which has really helped Massachusetts and all 351 cities and towns reclaim underutilized, contaminated sites. And you know, for our viewers, let me just start off with a real basic question. What is a brownfield? But actually, before I even do that, I want to give both of you an opportunity to give a little commercial about what your organization does, and in this case, what you do for the City of Boston. Why don't we start with you, Jim?
Great. Well, first, Governor, let me just say it's great to be here with you, and thanks for your leadership on brownfields issues and so many other issues that are facing cities and towns across the Commonwealth. In my role as Chief of Environment and Energy, serving on Mayor Menino's cabinet, I oversee a number of departments, from the Inspectional Services Department, which is our building department, where residents and businesses need to get their permits. We inspect those sites. Our Environment Department, which houses staff for our air pollution issues and Conservation Commission issues, as well as our historic commissions that oversee development in certain neighborhoods of the city. In addition, I deal with recycling issues, parks planning, and open space, as well as serving on the board of directors of the Mass Water Resources Authority and the Boston Groundwater Trust. One of the key things that Mayor Menino has charged my office with is overseeing energy policy for the city and helping to grow our city in a more sustainable way. So we have an ambitious agenda to green our city, and one of the key fundamental cores of our green building strategy and greening of Boston is brownfields redevelopment. So it's great to be with you today and Bob to talk about these issues.
Right. And the 1998 legislation, back from its inception, Mass Development, Bob, issue has been fairly supportive of brownfields funding and continued that funding, and in some cases has expanded it. We would hope and expect that to continue in the next administration. In 2 minutes, which is about all we have right now on the show, if you were to have a little wish list on what you'd like to see, what are the top 2 or 3 things you'd like to see the federal government do to assist us in this work?
I think we need to deal with both above ground as well as below ground contamination. Right now, we basically focus on below ground. The legislature has looked at and been concerned about asbestos and above ground pollution. If we could deal with that, that would be very helpful.
I would add again and echo that what we've been seeing from the feds and from the state is assistance on site assessment. I still think there are a lot of communities that are struggling with old sites that they don't know much about. So I think more money on site assessments is really the starting point, as well as assistance on capital to redevelop these, because bringing these back to productive use is the best way to create jobs and keep our economy moving.
Jim, Bob, I really appreciate both of you coming on the show. I know from my time as a mayor, this isn't always sexy stuff that people love to talk about, but at the end of the day, if we're serious about creating jobs for people in our cities and towns, meaningful jobs, if we're serious about tax base expansion, smart growth, the re-greening of communities, brownfield reclamation and redevelopment is key. So it's great to have both of you on, and thank you for what you're doing each and every day and creating jobs and promoting the environment in Massachusetts, and look forward to our continued partnership. And I want to thank you both for being guests here on the show, the Commonwealth Report. As always, we welcome any feedback, ideas, or suggestions, comments from our viewers, and you have the email address on the screen, ltgovoffice@state.ma.us. So as always, your feedback's important on this show and any other future topics you'd like us to see. We were signing off on Brownfields Month here on the Commonwealth Report. Everybody, look forward to the next show.